Welcome to Filipino Plaza. A large decorated wooden arch stands by the sidewalk. On the archway, a brightly colored bird and a small blue fish. Beyond that, red bricks extend slightly out and away from the wooden arch towards a stone pathway surrounded by a bank of grass. Opened in April 2nd, 1986, Filipino Plaza was originally announced for Expo 86 as part of BC Transit's Parkway program, an initiative that sought to create several parks and plazas along the route of the SkyTrain, each showcasing a different cultural community flourishing in Vancouver. Filipino Plaza was designed by Filipino architect Bert Morelos and completed with the help of Filipino community labor and donations. The bird above you, a saramanok, is a mythical bird originating from the Muslim Filipino Morano indigenous group in the southern Philippines. It represents good fortune and prosperity alongside the rich Filipino heritage and its indigenous mythology. This plaza is one of the last 3 Parkway program plazas still standing. We start here, away from Joyce Collingwood, to highlight the quiet presence of Filipino culture and community in innocuous and overlooked places. When arriving at Joyce Collingwood, there won't be such clear markers as a Filipino flag hanging from an arch. But this plaza also represents the risk of disappearance due to redevelopment or a lack of maintenance that many Filipino cultural spaces face today. Take a look around again. Why is the plaza so small? Why do the red bricks only extend so far? And most importantly, why does it seem so empty? These questions are central to our walking tour, which aims not to just offer information about the history of these sites, but also to contextualize these spaces within the communal importance they hold and the challenges they face in the present. Venture past the arch and examine the red brick wall. You'll notice many names are inscribed along the bricks. This wall contains 2,000 red bricks bearing the names of donors to honor their contribution to the building of this plaza. They represent the many people who came together to support this plaza and its vision of a communal cultural space. However, the plaza ran out of funding before it could be completed according to its original design, and it continues to struggle against the rising costs of maintenance. Today, it still thrives quietly below the SkyTrain tracks, unfinished, but perhaps not for forever. Throughout the walking tour, we would like you to look a little closer at the subtle, and not so subtle, marks of Filipino culture that speckle the streets of Joyce Collingwood. We ask you to not only take into consideration the history of Filipinos in Vancouver, but also pay special attention to the Filipino community who live in, work in, or visit this neighborhood today and continue to create a historical legacy in Joyce Collingwood. Alongside both the past and present of Filipino presence in Joyce Collingwood, we'd like you to bear in mind the importance of a future, whether that be the creation of new sites of community gatherings or the restoration and reimagination of culturally significant spaces like Filipino Plaza. Filipino heritage is entwined with the heritage and history of the other cultural groups and peoples who also call these locations home. There are many other communities who share gathering spaces, housing units, and restaurant tables with their Filipino neighbors. Furthermore, each of the spaces you will encounter on this tour are located on the unceded lands of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh peoples. We encourage you to consider how Filipino-Canadian subjectivities of place, home, and heritage are shaped and constructed by colonialism, both in Vancouver and in the Philippines. We invite you to think about how immigrant communities and cultural spaces benefit from a continued legacy of settler colonialism on Turtle Island, and to further acknowledge how your presence here at this plaza is entwined with these realities. Included in the QR code on both the illustrated map and transcript of this walking tour is an article regarding Filipino and Indigenous solidarity and Joyce Collingwood. Also contained in the QR code is a photograph of Bert Morelos' original design for the plaza, completed to its entirety, a community space brimming with movement and energy. Take a moment to enjoy the plaza. Contemplate what it is now and what it could be if it was given the time and funding to develop fully. When you're ready to depart, walk down Venice Avenue on BC Parkway on the right of Nanaimo Station for a 35 to 40-minute walk, or enter Nanaimo Station and board the Expo line towards King George for an 8-minute SkyTrain ride to Joyce Collingwood Station. Once at the station, walk to the intersection of Joyce Street and Venice Avenue before playing audio to the station.